This one trick could help you save drone shots that might have otherwise been completely unusable. Hey, if you don't know me, my name's Jake, and I create content here on YouTube to help solo creators on the go. People like me creating small commercial projects or stuff for here on YouTube who are on the go. So I test and review equipment here in Alaska, and I do tips and tutorials on how to use that equipment so that you can tell better stories and make smart buying decisions when you go to buy a piece of equipment. In today's Friday 5 Minutes to Better Filmmaking and Photography, I want to share with you one trick that can help you save drone shots that might have otherwise been completely unusable. There are times when you're doing something amazing and epic and getting this vast sweeping movement or a great parallax shot or moving forward at a high rate of speed to get a lot of motion in your drone footage, when something might happen like this, where the gimbal bottoms out against the top because of a gust of wind, or you went into sport mode and didn't realize it, or something happened that made a jerk in the footage. The same thing happens a lot when you're doing these sweeping, panning, parallax motions. A lot of times, if you don't keep your hands exactly right, the controls exactly right, you'll end up with a jerky motion in some part of the footage. And that is something that ruins a good drone shot, because all of a sudden it's interrupted by this quick change in the pacing of that motion. A lot of times this happens because as you're flying forward like this and the gimbal's tilted up, normally it's fine, but then the drone might hit a gust of wind and it has to tip farther forward. Well, then the gimbal hits up to the top range of the gimbal motion and does a little reset thing where it bops down like that. Or as you're orbiting around something like this, if you don't keep your controls exactly perfectly right, the drone could slide sideways or it could move and turn faster. A lot of things can happen to where the motion that it should be smooth and continuous throughout the shot changes for some reason suddenly, and that does ruin your drone shot. These are some great shots. The landscape is epic. The location is incredible. You can see me down in there, a little tiny person dot of red on this glacier. But then all of a sudden at some point, I lost my concentration. I lost my focus, probably because I was trying to stay upright. And the drone moves suddenly one direction or another and totally stops the smooth, fluid motion of the shot. But fear not, friends, there is a way that you can rescue a lot of these types of drone shots, and that is by knowing what type of frame rate you're going to be editing in and viewing your final video in, and what kind of frame rate you're shooting in with your drone. So to start off with, if you shoot in 30 frames a second or 24 frames a second, I shoot in 24 frames a second because I'm civilized. This trick will be a little bit easier, but even if you shoot in 30 frames a second, you can use this trick depending on the kind of drone you have. What you want to do is film at a higher frame rate than what you're going to be working with the footage in post in. So if you're going to be working with a 24 frames a second timeline or a 30 frames a second timeline, you want to film with 30 frames a second on the drone or 60 frames a second on the drone. Now, not every drone has 60 frames, and so this trick may not work for you, but if you have something like the Mavic Air 2 or the Skydio 2 or many other drones, they do film up to 60 frames a second in 4K, or you might have to lower the resolution just a little bit to get 60 frames a second. But in my case, because I'm filming in 24, or because I'm shooting and editing in 24 frames a second, then if I film with my drone at 30 frames a second, I can bring it into my timeline in post and slow that footage down to 80% speed. Now, 80% speed isn't huge, but it's enough to give you maybe an extra second, maybe 2 extra seconds for every drone shot that you shoot if they're short clips. It's not enough to where it really looks like slow motion. It does sort of give it this sort of dreamy, just slightly interesting effect. But what it also does is give you enough of a smooth motion and a smooth shot throughout even some of your shorter drone shots that you can get usable footage and usable shots out of your drone shot. Now, if you work in 30 frames a second, you're gonna have to film in 60 frames a second on your drone to be able to make this work. But you can, assuming your drone will shoot up to 60 frames a second. And in that case, you can do the same thing, slow it down 80% in post, but you may need to use something like optical flow or frame blending to make the footage look smooth. The caveat here is that if you bring 30 frames a second footage into a 24 frame timeline and you don't slow it down to 80%, then you need to use an optical flow or some sort of frame blending algorithm in your editor to make the footage look smooth. Otherwise, it will look a little bit choppy and a little bit jerky because the frame rates don't match up. But if you slow it down by 80%, you get these wonderfully smooth, beautiful shots that would have otherwise been not usable just because there was a weird motion somewhere in the footage that didn't really give you that 3 to 5 to 7 seconds of time that you need to get a really nice sweeping drone shot. If you want to learn other tips like this one, I put together a playlist right here of other videos just like this, 5 minutes, one simple tip that you can use to improve your videography or photography. Click or tap there, see you in one of those videos. As always, if you have questions, ask me in the comments below or join the live stream Wednesday nights, 4 p.m. Alaska time or 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you again soon in the next video. Cheers.